Welcome to the Unstoppable Journey with me, your host, Camille and Moore. I'm so glad you're here. This is the place where we talk all things women. Again, welcome. Hey, I hope you are doing well today or this evening, this morning, whenever you are listening to this episode. I am your host, Camille N. Moore. I am so glad that you stopped by to continue this unstoppable journey with me. This is episode number 2. I'm excited. I am still trying to make my way again, find my rhythm on this podcast life. But I am so excited that you are here with me. So the last episode, which was the first one, I kind of considered it an introduction. So this time I'm going to just jump right in. And I was trying to figure out, what should I name this particular episode? And so I came up with relationship deal breakers, right? Because I feel like, even though I am not in the dating scene anymore, right? I've been married decades, but there are, women who are still dating. There are people who are engaged. There are people who are single, have no desire to date at this time. And because of some things that I've kind of been seeing on YouTube, because if you listen to the first episode, you guys know I said I do like to watch YouTube a little bit, even though I'm really trying to pull back again, give my eyes a rest, not so much visual, and trying to take in a little bit of the audio, which is again why I'm doing the podcast. And so when I was watching YouTube over the last couple of months, I noticed 3 stories that kind of stuck out to me, and 2 of them in particular. And I want this to be maybe a little bit of a conversation. So I'm going to share my thoughts with you. I'm not an expert per se in this particular topic or area. However, I kind of am, right? Because I've been in a relationship my whole life, basically, with my husband. And we have been through it all. Trust me, that's an episode for another day, though. But it kind of bothered me a little bit because I love women so much, right? And I always want us to be healthy. I always want us to be and live at our best. And that is whether it's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is, I always want us to be at the top of our game. And it seems like, of course, from the outside looking in to others' relationships, that there is definitely a need for deal breakers to be set in place. I even remember there was a young lady I used to mentor, probably almost 15 years ago now. And she was, in dating mode. And she had deal breakers, right? She had these 3 specific deal breakers in place. And she met this guy and she's dating this guy, and he's already shattered 2 of the deal breakers. So I'm talking to her one night and she's sharing with me, some of the obstacles she's facing in this relationship. And I said, well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. He's already broken 2 of your so-called deal breakers. Why are you even entertaining the relationship? And I feel like what it was really coming down to is that she was at the age where she was ready to get married and start a family. And this was a viable option for her. And so, you guys, y'all, I'm really trying to stop saying so and so. I wish I had a zapper, every time I say it so or and so, I would get a little zzz, zzz, so I could stop saying it. But anyway, I feel like, and maybe it's because I'm not in this particular situation because I have been married for so long. But when first of all, you need to have deal breakers for when you're dating, certain things that you're just not going to do or not allow someone to do to you, or that you're not going to partake in. And if these things happen, this is not going to be a viable relationship for me. I have to exit stage left and wait for God to send me the person that He has for me instead of settling. When I was watching YouTube, maybe a month or so ago, two stories kind of came up back to back within like a week or two, where two separate women, two separate, states, all this stuff, were in relationships with men who were in prison. Now, both of these women ended up losing their lives during a prison visit to see their, husband in jail, or in prison. And from what I understand, at the hands of the husband. And I'm wondering, and you all tell me in the comments, like, again, let's have a conversation about this. Are we in fact in a day and age where, as women, we are lonely enough to settle for relationships that are not healthy or beneficial to us? And I'm not saying that this is a new thing, because even, in my day, when I was dating, we can look back, to, people who came before us, and sometimes they would be in unhealthy relationships, whether it was a power dynamic or physical or mental abuse, or, just such a clash in the relationship and personality, where the relationship became toxic or codependent, or all the things that are not healthy in a relationship. But yet we would stay in these relationships for what reason? So that's what I'm trying to understand in today's dating market. Well, let's call it a market. In today's dating market, what is driving a woman to enter, or stay in a relationship that is clearly not healthy for them? Is it because maybe they just don't want to be alone? And it's like, I'd rather deal with XYZ than be by myself. Which, I'm definitely an advocate for marriage. I, definitely advocate for um, relationships, dating relationships that are leading towards marriage, so that you can be in a monogamous, committed relationship. However, I do think you have to get to know a person for real before you decide to marry them, so you know what you're getting into, and if that's something that really is going to work for your life. So there I go. Got to get rid of that. So is it because women are lonely that they are settling? Is it because women are not taking the time to actually set boundaries or deal breakers that they will not tolerate in a relationship? Is it that uh, women don't understand what unhealthy relationships look like? I've seen over the course of my life, and even up through today, where you see women in these relationships that us from the outside, we are looking at it and we're like, why are you still dealing with that? Or why are you in this relationship with this man? What is really going on in your head? And it's like they have this back and forth, and they make up, and then they break up, and then they make up, and then they holler and they fuss and they fight, not necessarily like physically fighting, but like getting back at each other, like doing things like, oh, you did this to me, I'm gonna do this to you. and thinking that this is normal. Like, that's not normal. That is not a normal relationship. But I see it in a lot of not just young people. Sometimes when we're young, we get a pass because we don't know nothing yet. We still silly. But I'm seeing this pattern even in older women as well. And so is that a situation where we have normalized unhealthy relationships to where people think like if we don't have some drama, you don't really love me, or there's no feelings. Like if everything is going good, we need some drama to keep the love alive. Is that a reason? Is it that, women have become so independent? And this is a touchy subject. Like the independent woman is very touchy. I used to be like super independent. I came from a family of women where we just gonna get it done. We are gonna get it done. And when I got married, I took that same mentality into my marriage. And when you marry like a manly man, like they ain't really going for it, right? They're not really going for it like that. So it was a clash for me and my husband initially because it's like, I ain't woman, hear me roar. Like I don't need you. I could do this all on my own. And like that's what I came from. So in my head, even though I love my husband, I wanted my husband to be there. But my belief was, even if we didn't last or we weren't together, which that was never the goal, of course, I was gonna be okay. Like I'm still gonna get out here and I'm gonna make life happen. But when you have a husband that's like, no, I'm the head, I'm running this, and you like, no, you ain't, unless I agree with it, then you can have you can have some situations. And so sometimes I think we as women can be too independent. And when we are so dependent, we don't give our husbands, or even if you're still dating and you're trying to see how you mesh together as a couple to stay in an extended relationship, we don't know how to give our hearts fully to a man, because I think a lot of us as women have trust issues. Like, are you going to really hold me down? Are you going to really take care of me like you say? Uh, when you take care of me, does that going to come with me having to give up some of who I am? Am I going to have to always do what you say, when you say, how you say, because now I'm dependent on you? And it creates a little bit of fear because we don't know if we can really trust you like that. And if we give up some of this independence and then it doesn't work out, where's that going to leave us? So I think that may be a little bit of it. Um, Sometimes our expectations, like we will have a set of expectations of what we want in a relationship or in a mate. And sometimes ladies, the expectations are unrealistic. So we can go from having like no standards, no boundaries, to having such high standards that nobody will ever meet them. And then we're not willing to meet anyone halfway. Now, I think I need to throw in here that when I say that, it depends on the stage of life that you're in. For instance, of course, if you're like in your early 20s, mid 20s, and you're dating someone, typically they're not going to be well established because y'all so young. So you have the opportunity to grow together and build a life together. But then if you're looking at someone, if you're in your late 30s, your early 40s, and you're dating someone and you're looking to create a long-term relationship, you are looking to say, hey, I need you to be bringing something to the table. Like, I need you to show me that you are established. Like, what are you doing with your life? What have you done with your life? What are your future goals, like short term, long term? How do I fit into that? So when there, gotta buzz myself for saying so. But when we are at a certain age, we can't start off like when we 20 and we still trying to grow and establish something. When you 40, you should have something established. You should have something established. And so, so we have to find that balance of what are realistic expectations when we are looking to get together with somebody and build a life. So those are some of the things that I think we have to take a deeper look at. We have to, and you guys, you have to listen to your friends sometimes. Now, I know we have heard it said, if you're in a relationship and all your friends are single, don't take their advice because they still single. But I really think we need to view that with a grain of salt, like really. Because when you're in a relationship and you are lollygaggy, lovey-dovey or whatever, you're in it. Like you're in the trenches. So you're blinded by love or lust or whatever it is. And your friends are on the outside and they can see all the red flags. They can also see the good things too. So it is good to have one or two good friends that you really trust wholeheartedly. That's been some true ride or dies that you know have your best interest at heart. And when they bring certain things, I'm not saying you always have to listen, but don't automatically throw it away. Because if they're seeing something, they've known you your whole life probably. And if they're seeing something and they're like, just consider this, friend. Consider this. Then it's up to you to consider it, but at least consider it. At least, and I'm not saying you got to listen. I'm just saying consider it. Your real friends are going to tell you the truth. Now, the flip side of that is friend. Once you have told them, and if they choose not to listen, and it's a real red flag for real, you got to take your hands off. Because once you tell them once, maybe even twice, and they don't want to listen, just let it go. Just still love them and be there in case it blow up. That's really all you can do. But you have to have some good friends around you when you are dating. I really mean that. Like I still have the same friend group that I had when me and my husband were dating is the same friend group I have today, minus one of my really good friends because she passed away several years back. But I know I said I want to try to keep these to 20 minutes until I kind of find my rhythm, find my flow, see how my conversation is going to go. Again, these are food for thought, food for thought. And the main thing that I want you to take away with you today, if you have made it to the end of this podcast, and I hope you have, I want you, if you are dating, to remember the things I just said. One, have some boundaries. Have some deal breakers. Make sure the boundaries, the deal breakers, and then the expectations that you're setting for what you want in a relationship and in a man are realistic. Make sure they're realistic. That is a huge thing. Realistic. 4, I done start naming them. 4, make sure you listen to your friends who really have your best interest at heart. If they see some red flags, listen, listen, listen. And then also, lastly, make sure if you are an independent woman who can take care of yourself, who can pay your own mortgage, purchase your car, run your business, or even if you work for someone else, and you're financially you good. You don't technically, I wish y'all could see my air quotes, need a man to take care of you. However, you can't be so independent that you can't connect with someone that will enhance your life. I'm really sad, not tired. I'm sad when I am seeing women who are over 40, and you guys, I'm not exaggerating because I see it frequently, who are over 40 and they're now wanting to really be married or in these long-term committed relationships, and they feel like they're not finding viable mates. And in some of these cases, it really is because they've set these unrealistic expectations. Now, don't get no low standards now. Don't get, y'all, you got to have some standards. Just don't be making people jump like way over the moon. You can't just, you ain't got to jump over the moon. You got to jump over the moon. Okay, so listen, you guys. Another thing you can do in the comments is let me know again what you guys want to talk about. I would like to really have conversation around these topics. Again, I would like to bring on a guest from time to time, but only to discuss things that I know you want to hear that they may have an expertise in. So I hope this information was beneficial to you. Again, I hope it was food for thought because that is what it is meant to be. And as these episodes continue, I probably will start to take a little bit of a deeper dive, but I want to get to know you as an audience. I want to get to know what you like, what you're all about, so I can know what you really want from me and what you want to share and how much of myself I can bring to the table that'll be beneficial to you. Because again, I don't want to be doing this if it's not helping anybody. So as I say, that's all I got. So I hope you will join me again for the next episode. I don't even know what it's going to be about yet, y'all. I don't know. But when I know, you'll know, because I'll record it and then upload it. All right. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whenever you're listening to this. Thanks for joining the journey today. Connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. And remember to join me the first Saturday of each month for a live coffee and chat on my YouTube channel.